Without further ado, I think we need to move on to the serious matter where we've got political hats on. And I must say that being in Canberra, there is perhaps a undertone of a political agenda here. Country music represents about 23% of Australian music sales in terms of turnover. It has a very minimal government funding exposure. In fact, we're not getting any government funding. It'd be nice to get some assistance. But it's also not really taken too seriously, I think, on a national music agenda where there's just as much, if not even more, musicianship and skill that's involved in terms of playing some of the crazy venues that are out there in festivals like this one, amongst others. But we're also trying to raise that profile of country music as a legitimate form of music. And as you see, all the different styles, everything from Australiana bluegrass right through to country rock, is a very wide scope to cover. So I think our politicians might have some nice words for us of encouragement. Well, I should actually say we'll have two politicians that will be addressing us today. Mary Porter, the member for Ginninderra, first up, a local member, and also Senator Gary Humphries at the Commonwealth level, representing the ACT. So if I could just call Mary Porter, the member from Ginninderra, to launch this with Gary Humphries. Thank you, Mary.
Well, thank you very much, Galvin. I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon. It is a beautiful day, and it's a wonderful occasion that we're all here gathered for, and that is the launch of the Country Music Festival in the ACT, the inaugural launch. First, before I go any further, though, I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on the lands of the Ngunnawal people and pay my respects to their elders and thank them for the contribution that they make to this place we all call home. And as we all know, music plays an integral part in the lives of our Indigenous people, and we're very fortunate to have here in the ACT people who share with us their music and their art. I'd like to welcome people who have come here from other places and who will be coming here from other places to join with us in this festival. I'd like to welcome all the artists that have joined us today and those that will be coming, and particularly acknowledge my colleague, Senator Gary Humphries, and thank him for being here today to share with us on this important occasion. Graham, thanks for your words about the Kicks country, and looking forward to that happening and being able to visit the station and perhaps learn more about what the station is going to be offering in the near future. I'm here on behalf of the Chief Minister, who is the Minister for Arts, and I'm very pleased to be able to do that. He sends his apologies. He would have liked to have been here with you today, but I get the good gigs, guys, so I'm here instead because he can't be here. As we know, country music, as we have heard just now, country music plays an integral part in the lives of people, and it is an important genre of music. But within that genre, there are many different types of music. We have bluegrass, and we have, we were just talking before about the fact that there's country music in Ireland, for instance, and right across the world, in America and in Europe and here in Australia and in New Zealand, we have this experience of a different genre of country music, and this is what we're going to be experiencing here in the ACT. We're going to be fortunate to be exposed to so many artists, people at the peak of their careers, and of course young people and other people who are just starting out. So it's an important opportunity for them to get together, to share their music, to make friends, to make new friends, to let us know what they're passionate about. And of course country music is something that people get passionate about because it is the way we tell our stories. It's a way that people interpret their world, talk about what they've experienced in the past, talk about the history, for instance, of Australia and how people struggled on the land when they first arrived here and made their and settled down in Australia. And of course that story can be told all the way around the world about the struggles of people and how that's interpreted through country music. I think it's very important that we recognise everybody that's going to be involved in putting this festival on. They made mention of the volunteers before, and I know how important that is, that we have that strong band of volunteers and all the organisers that go to put on an event like this. I have once organised a national conference. I don't think I've ever got over that experience. It's such a hard thing to do, to organise a big event, so I'm with you all in this. I'm very pleased to see we have a dog here today, because we know that dogs are very important as far as country music is go. There are a lot of songs about dogs and country music, I know, because I'm a strong supporter of having pets, and particularly dogs, so I'm very pleased to have our dog represented here today. Thank you very much for inviting me. I know I'm co-launching with the Senator, so I'm not going to say any more, because I'm sure the Senator can fill in the gaps, and if I say any more, he won't have anything else to say. So I'm going to leave you something to say. Gary? Okay.
Thank you very much, Mary, to Galvin, distinguished guests, particularly those of you who have visited us to Canberra. I don't think Mary's actually left me any gaps at all to fill in there. But I will say this, I always find a gap, never mind. I will say this, that I'm really delighted to see an event like this happen here in the National Capital, because one of the things that you can't help but feel sometimes when you hear people talk about Canberra is that it's a bit, in the eyes of some people at least, a bit monodimensional. People see it in terms of the national monuments and the public service offices, and they sometimes sort of create the impression by what they say that they think there isn't much else that goes on in Canberra. Those of us who live here know that that's quite untrue, but we need to use opportunities to get a message across that Canberra's a very vibrant place with the whole gamut of Australian community represented here in our ranks among the people who live here and who work here. And it's really great to be able to remind people that just as country music has a great place in the hearts of all Australians across the length and breadth of this nation, so too country music has a big part in the lives of people who live in Canberra. Mike Crozier from QBN FM was just telling me to what extent Canberra really has become in recent years a little mini hub for country music. So many people here have been playing it for a long period of time. Franklin B. Pavity's been around forever. I mean, I don't know, they've been as long as I've been in Canberra, they've been here playing their music, and others have been coming here, been making a lot of music, and you can go to lots of venues around the city and get to hear that music. And now, of course, through the good offices of Graham and Kix Kix Radio, we'll be able to hear more of it on our radio dials, and that's just fantastic. So, to the extent that this is a chance to remind people about an important part of Australian cultural life, and then come to Canberra, hopefully from lots of different places, maybe even from overseas as well, come to Canberra and feel that here in the national capital, you can see a slice of the life of Australians depicted through their great affection for country music is a really great message, and I really strongly support that. Thank you so much, Galvin, to all of your efforts in making sure that this event's going to be a great success. We really need to make sure that people get the message that good country music can be had here in Canberra. What an extraordinary thing you got there. I hope you're not going to make me wear that, are you? I see. Well, I suppose that's appropriate, isn't it? It's the right thing to do when you want to launch a country music festival.
You both stand there. You both dip your lids.
Dip our lids. Well, it's our great pleasure now. You must have my hat, nice to have your hat. It's a great pleasure to be able to see this new event come to Canberra. Long may it provide great pleasure to Canberrans and visitors to this national capital. It's our mutual pleasure to launch the inaugural Canberra Country Music Festival, and many more, I'm sure, and hope will follow on from it.
I would just echo those words, Gary, and I'm sure that you're right. There will be many more festivals and many more people coming to Canberra because of it.
That's right,
so
absolutely.
We're very pleased to launch it together today.
And we dipped our hats to do that.
We dipped
there
our
you
hats
go.
to do that.
There's a first for us, isn't it?
That's the first, Gary. We'll keep that on we'll keep a record of that.
I think I'll need that camera, yeah, destroy it.